Ladies and gentlemen, Hex community of all ages, hey, Jake Freedom here, coming to you live from YouTube for yet again another weeks of spoilers. Dollar late? No, that's not how it goes. A day late, a dollar short. Yes, we're supposed to do this on Tuesdays. Today is Wednesday. Sometimes I get a little off in the week if I don't get to do Hex Update Saturday on Saturday rather than having to do it on Sunday. But anyway, not a big deal. Just to let you know, this week's spoilers is going to take everything from last Tuesday to yesterday. We're not going to do anything that was spoiled today because then it'll throw off next week, just to let you know that. So without further ado, let's get started. Some of these cards I've looked at, some of them I just entered in and just to get in because I've just been so crazy busy this week. So I may not know all of them right away. So let's just get started. The first one we got here is a blood card. It's called Abominate. It's a 2 casting cost, 1 blood threshold. It's a basic action. Its card text is an additional cost to play this, sacrifice a troop. A target troop gets +3/+3. That doesn't sound too bad. That's rather than being an instant like Wild Growth, but Wild Growth gives you crush. I mean, this you sack a troop, you get +3/+3 permanently. I think it's a pretty good card. I don't think it would be anything constructed worthy maybe, but you could do it because Blood's all, I mean, come on. Blood Shin Hair, obviously it's a bunny. Blood Shin Hair is all about, sacking your troops to pump up your troops. So for 2 cost, single blood threshold, definitely a good card. Given what it does. So, and it's such a low casting cost, and it's common. So this would be pretty good. Draft, sealed, probably a draft card. I'm not so sure about sealed. Like I said, I'm not sure about constructed. Moving on, let's go ahead and take a look at Bloat Cap. It's another 2 casting cost, single blood threshold. This is a Shroomkin troop. He's common. And he's a 1/1, and he says when this dies, each opposing troop chooses and discards a card. Not bad. Again, probably not in constructed. More draft, maybe sealed. That's about all I have to say about that. Other than the art is kind of, I don't want to say creepy, but it is kind of creepy. Next one here we have is another blood card, 2 casting cost, single blood threshold, called Emperor's Lackey. It's a 4/4 troop. Sounds pretty good. He's an uncommon. He's a Shinhir Warlock. And in it, the text says, at the start of your turn, this gets -1/-1, sacrifice another troop, you can revert this. So basically, what we're going to have here is when you get to attack with him, since he's not a quick troop, is he'll be a 3/3 for 2, which still isn't horrible. You can still play him, and you can still block with a 4/4 for 2 cost. But when you get to attack the first time, it's going to be 3/3. Still, I think this is a really good card. Sacrificing a troop just to revert him back could get kind of expensive over the game, but you get him out early, you're going to be able to get in 3 damage pretty quickly. Next one we got here is Graunt's Gift. Another blood card, 4 casting cost, single blood threshold. It is a socketable major, it's a constant, and it's a rare. Its card text read, for 4 resources, you can transform target non-zombie troop in your graveyard into a zombie with all socketed powers of this and put it into play. I really like these cards here. This is a transform. It's not a revert, but it's a transform. They'll become a zombie with socketed powers. So I think these cards here. Is this the first? This isn't the first constant we've seen that socket, is it? No, we've had one last week. So these socketable cards here, which are going to give your other cards the socketable powers, are going to. I think they're going to make a big impact. I really do. I'm hoping they do anyway. I'm hoping they shake up standard constructed a whole heck of a lot, because we need some variety. We need more than what's out there right now. So hopefully these things here shake up standard. I can't think of anything right now what I'd want to do, but I'm thinking they're going to be pretty big. Next one here we have is Playing with Fire. It's our first Ruby card. It's a 3 casting cost, single Ruby threshold. Is another constant. It says when you play a card with cost 5 or greater, deal 2 damage to target champion or troop. So maybe you could pair this with the Pupil Creation and all those cards that have been released. Was it Pupil Creation or Pupil Creation, something like that? Then release where, you know, to take advantage of the 5 casting cost or greater cards. Cool thing about this card here is when this card was revealed, there was some type of code you could find, you know, to get some Buccaneer sleeves or something like that, and it was, you know, people saying, oh, it's the image. Well, it was the image, but it wasn't directly in the image. It was the name of the actual image. I'm pretty sure it's how it worked. By the time I got to it, it had already been done and over with, so I'm pretty sure it was the name of the image, so it was kind of a cool way to reveal that one there. Other than that, okay card, not the greatest. Next one we have is Soul of Battle, 2 casting costs, single ruby threshold, a quick action, rare. Target troop you control gets crush. This deals double damage, and at the end of turn you sacrifice this. So you can take this card, it gets crush, it's going to deal double damage, but you got to get rid of the card at the end of the turn. Being that's quick action, and it's a 2 cost, and you can give a troop crush and deal double damage, I believe this is probably going to see constructed. If not, I would be surprised, but you never know. I mean, cards show up in constructed. I didn't think they would, but I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't. Other than that, great card for draft and sealed. Maybe not sealed, maybe draft, but sealed is so tough. You know, it's like, you know, we just don't know what's all going to be there yet. You know, so sealed is kind of tough to say, but I think in any limited format, this is going to be a great card. I don't care who you are. Next one here, that's all the rubies we got. We only got 2 rubies. So now we got some wild coming up here, and this one here is Lyra Kissed. Lyra Kissed, like a lyric, song words, lyrics, Lyra Kissed. 2 casting cost, single wild threshold. He is a troop, he's an elf ranger, he's a 1/2. And at the start of your turn, you gain 1 temporary resource. So I like that. Another more ramp stuff for wild. Not that wild needed any more ramp, but that's kind of what that whole color is about. So was it Howling Brave? You know, you have to choose one or the other. You got the Ruby Elves where you attack, you get 1. Now you got this one here at the start of your turn, you just gain 1 automatically regardless of what you do. So I think, you know, getting things out quicker is definitely going to be a possibility, even more so with release of set 3. Other than that, horrible card. You know, 2 casting costs, 1/2. Yeah, but give you that temporary resource. I like that. Next one here is Stirring Oration. Man, that seems like we've gone through this one here, because I remember talking about Stirring Oration and the pronunciation wasn't correct. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, Stirring Oration, 2 casting costs, single wild, quick action. Target troop gets +2/+2 this turn. If you control a card with cost 5 or greater, that troop gets an additional +3/+3. Super good card. I like it. I like it for draft. Maybe constructed, but I doubt it. Next one here is Sylvan Duet, and this is a 4 casting cost. Single wild threshold. Sorry, I was just looking at the spoiled date that I had put in there and make sure it was right. I'm pretty sure that's right, isn't it? It's gotta be right. I don't know. Anyway, Sylvan Duet. Basic action, gain 2 resources. I don't like that one at all. I think that one's just a fill card. Alright, next one we have is in the Diamond Shard. That's a 5 casting cost, double diamond. Cry of Adamant, and it's a quick action. It says attacking troop gets +2/+2 this turn. Way too expensive for what it does, and it's double threshold. I don't care if it's quick action or not. It's definitely not going to be constructed. It's going to be one of your last picks in draft, and it definitely probably won't make the main board. Sideboardable card at best. Next one here we have is Deadeye Slicer, 3 casting cost, single diamond. It's a 2/2 troop, and it has Swift Strike, and it has a basic 1 shot on it. For 1 resource, you can transfer or shift Swift Strike to another troop. I like that ability. Unfortunately, it's at basic speed, so you can't do it in response to something. So you have to do it on your turn before you attack, so your opponent's going to know. If that wasn't at basic speed, this would be a really kick-ass card, but unfortunately it's not, so it's really, really, really under mediocre. Next one we have here is Deep Gaze Acolyte, 2 casting cost, 1 diamond. He's a 2/1 troop, and it says when a power is shifted onto this gets +1/+1. Okay, we know there's a lot of shift powers out there, but how How many times are you actually going to spend the resources to shift the power onto Deep Gaze Acolyte? Granted, it's +1/+1, so you can get a 3/3 just by shifting something onto him. Now, if you pair that with the previous card we just saw, where you can shift a Swift Strike onto him, that's not bad. You know, now he's a 3/2 with Swift Strike. That's okay. So those cards might work well together, but you know, it's just the whole one-shots at the basic speed, or the some of you coming from MTG sorcery speed or whatever. You know, it's okay. The whole shifting of the powers, that we might see some cool decks come out of that. You know, you never know. Next card we got here is another diamond. It's Pride's Fall. It's 2 casting costs. Single diamond is a quick action, and its card text is destroy target troop with a defense 4 or more. I like these cards. These are really good draft cards, really good sealed cards, really good sealed sideboard cards. Whether or not you want to put them in your constructed deck, probably won't make the main deck, but definitely, you know, could be a sideboardable card given its casting cost is only 2, and it can destroy some of those bigger troops. On the ascent side, that is, not on the attack. So, you know, some of those that are just too pesky to deal with, like, oh my gosh, you have, you know, a ton of defense. Well, Pride's Fall is going to take care of that. So, all in all, I like that card just for it's really cheap. It's a quick action, and it can get rid of a powerhouse. So, you know, if somebody drops 6-7 resources into a card that's got 5 defense, boom, 2 resources, and it's dead. So I like that a lot. Next one here we have is a Sapphire Carter, first one of this spoiler here. It's a 5 casting cost, a double Sapphire, Arachnomancer. It's a 3/3 troop, and it says when a spider enters play under your control, you may draw a card. Okay. How many spiders do we have so far? I haven't even been keeping track. I don't know. The eggs? Some of the eggs? I don't know if those come into our play, but... yeah. I don't know yet. I don't know how many spiders we have, so I can't really rate that card. But 5 casting costs 3/3. No good. Draw a card. Still, yeah, okay. You know, how many spiders are going to enter your hand? You know, you have to build a deck around and have spiders entering your play. Yeah, it's okay. Not good, but okay. Next one here we got is Cyclone Shaman. It's a 4 casting cost, a double Sapphire. It's a 2/4 troop, has flight and prophecy, and its prophecy text is when this enters play, the next troop in your deck gets, when this enters play, put target action with cost equal to or less than this troop's cost from your graveyard into your hand. 4 cost, flight 2/4. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one at all. Next one here is Incubating Webs, 4 casting cost, double Sapphire. It's a basic action. It says exhaust target opposing troop it gets. At the start of the turn, exhaust this, then create a spiderling egg and put it into your deck. Okay. It gets exhausted, so you never get to play it again. It says it gets... at the start of your turn, exhaust this, then create a spiderling and put it in your deck. It doesn't say this turn, so it's every turn. So you basically, that troop gets to be exhausted every turn. So maybe not a bad card, you know. Yeah, it's okay. You know, definitely pretty cool card in draft because, you know, we don't have a lot of bombs in draft. There's there's really not a lot of troops that you get in draft. So it's a good draft card, I think. Next one here is Spider's Nest. It's a 2 casting cost, single Sapphire. It's a basic action. It says target opposing troop gets, when this becomes exhausted, create 3 spiderling eggs and put them into your deck. So that could definitely be paired with that. With this. So you take this card here and you target the troop. And then your next turn you do this, and so then you're putting 4 spiderling eggs into the deck, into your deck every time. Maybe something. We'd have to see more about these spiderling eggs. I don't know. Next one here we have is Suffocate, 4 casting cost, double Sapphire. It's a quick action. It says interrupt target opposing card. Create 2 spiderling eggs for that card's controller and put them into their deck. So 4 cost to interrupt a card, double Sapphire though, that kind of sucks, you know. other than it being 4 is not bad, but being 4 and double threshold, probably not going to be anything that's noteworthy. Next card we have here is the legendary that was spoiled for the week, I believe. Yes, and it is Sin Ether Drake Nomad. It's a 7 casting cost, no threshold, of course, since it's an artifact. It's a 5/6 dragon construct, and he has flight, obviously since he's a dragon. And it says, when Sin Ether Drake Nomad attacks, void the top card of your deck, create a copy of each card voided by Sin, and put them into your hand. You can play this for free. Very, very, very cool card. You know, granted it's 7 to get out, but don't worry about that. We have Technical Genius. You know, we have all sorts of cards that we can play artifacts for a lot cheaper than that. So this guy, definitely overpowered. And it says, when the Nomad attacks, not if he deals damage. So when he attacks. So basically your opponent's going to have to keep him exhausted, because every time he attacks, you get to void the top card of your deck, create a copy of it, and play it free. So, huge card. I guarantee, I can almost guarantee, I'm not that sure, but that this will definitely see constructed play. I could be wrong. I know it's 7 casting costs, and you have to put other cards in it to get it out there before, like Technical Genius and, you know, maybe Gearsmith, you know, or something. I don't know. Stuff like that. So maybe it won't, because it takes too many other cards to actually get it to be cheap enough to make it worthwhile. But, of course, it's going to be a bomb in draft. Of course, it's going to probably maybe be in sealed. I don't know. Sealed is so tough. Like I said, sealed is so tough. So anyway, this are the spoilers for last week up until yesterday, including the room today. So I think they're okay still. You know, a lot of people were saying that, you know, the spoilers have slowed down. Actually, we have more spoilers this week than we did last week. We actually have one more. But that might be because Stirring Oration's in there for some odd reason, so we might have had 18. It seems like there's been about 18 spoilers every week. And unfortunately, we did not get a release date last update from CZE to see when set 3 is going to come out, but no big deal. Hopefully it's going to be coming soon, because they said it's going to come out before Gen Con. What I'm hoping, though, is that it doesn't get pre-released at Gen Con, because not all of us can go to Gen Con. I would love to go to Gen Con, but probably not going to happen. So anyway, again, those are the spoilers for this week. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of these, that's not the right order, is it? If you want to leave me a comment about some of the cards down below, out there. Man, I'm just all over the page here today. Let me know what you think about the cards if you want to. If you want to see more of these videos here, just go ahead and click subscribe button. It's one of these buttons down over here, and we'll have another video for you soon.